hood with it, in the hood with it. Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support I've been getting, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you, and I'm very humbled. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for all the support. So, let's get into the story of the day, man. When you're incarcerated, okay, the thing that you have to look forward to the most, more than anything, more than mail, more than a naked picture of your old lady, more than chicken day at Chow, more than hamburger day on the yard, more than canteen packages or food sales, is your release date. Man, there's some people, the cool part about it is there's some people that will never see a release date. That's very unfortunate, man, or have never even experienced that. Me, I've experienced it about 6 times, okay, a release date. I'm lucky. I've been doing life on the installment plan, so according to where God has me in life, I'm all right? I haven't did it for a while, so far so good. But I know that at any given time, man, something could pop off, and next thing you know, I'm sitting in there like, guard, right? I like your shoes, I like your parents, I ain't in here for good times, right? Fuck that. But I will tell you this, your out date, your projected release date, or the day that you get out, man, it's like one of the greatest experiences in life. It's a fresh start. You're getting out feeling brand new, right? So let me take you through the tall tale of what happens and exactly what happened to an individual who didn't quite make it to the streets. I mean, he got there, but they also got there, right? So for anyone that knows, you know, the day that you get out, you already know your date. About 90 days prior to you being released from prison, they take your job. They start to facilitate your program package, you know, where you're going to get out to, where you're going to parole to. They check and see if you have warrants in any other states or any other counties. And you make a parole plan. You know, I'm going to parole to my sister's pad because I ain't really got shit, right? Well, however it is, man, whether they send you to a halfway house, there are some people that are mandated to go to transitional housing, a halfway house, because of their crime. They're trying to reinstitute them or reacclimate them to society slowly but surely. That's just the way it is. I never had to go to a halfway house, thank God, right? Because it's just another spot where there's a bunch of gangsters and a bunch of criminals, and all you're going to do there is probably get caught up on a violation because everyone's getting high. That's just facts. I've had people that have went, right? So I can tell you the ins and outs of that. But anyways, that day you're happy. They usually wake you up early in the morning before the cock crows, right? And if you're like me, man, you work out, bust down, try to keep your mind off what you got going on, because now it's man time. See, in there, you're on your gang shit. You're on your man shit, but out here now you're going to have bills to pay. You're going to have to worry about a place to lay your head. You're going to go try to knock a fat torta in a motherfucking bar if you're smart, right? And the first thing you're going to do with your gate money, your $200, is buy you a cell phone and a pack of frajos. There's just a lot of things that are going to go on that day. So anyways, they usually put you in a cell in R&R so that way you can dress out. If you have dress clothing, meaning your family, you know, you're good enough in the hood enough to have your family send you parole clothes. They send you a parole package. They'll have it there with your name on it. And then you could dress out. Usually, you know, you dress however you're going to dress, brand new shoes or whatever. But 99% of the people I've ever seen don't have that, right? There's been times where I had a parole, not buck naked, right? But I had a parole with state issue clothing. So I threw on my sweats, my white tee, my wife beater, or whatever the case may be. Even the Bob Barkers, it got that ugly sometimes on a violation, right? And boom, you parole. So depending upon where you're at and where you live, if you're from Southern California and you're paroling from Northern California, you already know you're either going to jump on that Greyhound or that Amtrak if your people are not there to pick you up. There are some prisons where they do not allow you to be picked up. One of the places that they didn't allow people for a very long time, now I don't know if it's changed, but I know this is for facts because they actually made a movie about it, was in Pelican Bay. Crescent City, California, way as north as you can get in Northern California is where Pelican Bay is located. So when guys would get released out of Pelican Bay back in the days, they used to drive them into the local town right there in Crescent City, and they would catch a Greyhound. Now you need to understand this. When you're put into that cell in R&R, there's other guys usually paroling with you. There's other guys that got the same date. Dudes that you've never talked to on the yard, didn't know what time it was, don't know what they're in there for, never even conversated. Probably the adversaries from the other side, meaning if you're north or south, vice versa, blacks, whites, whatever. But everyone kind of lets that shit go when you go in that cage, right? They let it go because you already know it's an active person, or if you're on the SNY, they're all SNY. So they're all in the same boat, whatever the case may be. Now, say I'm a northerner, man, at the time, and there's southerners that are there. I'm not tripping off them. They're not tripping off me. If anything, we're chopping it up. What's up, bro? Where you going? I'm going to Los, eh? You know what I mean? I'm going to San Diego. Orale, Holmes, where you going? Merced, eh? Modesto, or wherever, right? That's right, homie. Everyone's so happy, and they got so much other shit on their mind than to be worried about fucking fighting or conflict or gang shit. Now the eyes ain't on you. Now you don't have to worry. You're one step out of prison. So now you have to, live life. Now there has been situations where people fucking, I don't know, for whatever reason, just the gangster just never left them, and they would get off right there. You don't want to do all that, because all they're going to do is place you in the hole, and you could get a new charge. And next thing you know, hey, homie, I thought you were getting out yesterday. Shit, homie. They brought one of the mother vatos in the cell, and you fucking got off? Wow, also, right? That's it. They're not going to be proud of you. Some will be like, hey, that's right, homie, you're a real one. Yeah, well, a real one just got 5 more years. There you go. Anyways, so usually everybody gets along. Everybody's dressing out. Everybody's ready to go, and they're going to compile you guys in a whole bunch in a van. And they're going to drive you to wherever they usually drive you. If you got people that are waiting right outside the facility, like I said, some places are different, then you jump off that van. There's your familia. I'm sure you've seen the fucking little come-togethers on TikTok that people put out. And that's what it is. It's crazy, too, getting out, because when you do a long stretch, 10 years plus is what's considered a long stretch, you're looking around, and when that fucking gate cracks, you're like, damn, bro, all that for this. It was this simple? All they had to do was press a button? Fuck, right? Anyways, in Crescent City, California, back to Pelican Bay, they stopped releasing people because what was happening was people were getting whacked. They were getting whacked right there at the bus stop. A lot of the Southerners, true story, a lot of the Southsiders from Southern California would jump on the Greyhound, right? And that Greyhound would make a stop in San Francisco. And when they made that stop in San Francisco, there was a lot of Northerners, Norteños, or other gang members that were there at them times. True stories, facts, right? Ask Dubs, he'll tell you. He's from down south. He knows the story, I'm sure, right? And they were waiting at the bus stop, and there was a lot of issues. There was sometimes when vatos were getting stabbed, booked. So vatos were getting the heads up, and it's the same thing if you're doing time in Southern California, which at that time there was hardly any Norteños down in Southern California doing time. So we didn't really have to worry about that, right? But coming from Pelican Bay, which had a lot of Southsiders that housed a lot of them, they did have to go through certain bus stops in Stockton, Sacramento, San Francisco. And it would be bad, man, because vatos knew, hey, these vatos just got off. They'll come hit you up. Hey, bro, where you coming from? And you could kind of tell. And next thing you know, vatos were coming up short. True stories, getting jumped at the bus station. And this story right here I'm going to tell you is facts, right? And anyways, they made a movie about the Pelican Bay issue because some guy, it was a white man, got released, and got into a shootout with some cops, took some hostages or whatever. I think it's a Lifetime movie they made. True story. Since that incident happened, man, they decided to not release people to Crescent City. Crescent City said, nah, we're cool, man. Take them guys. So most guys that were from Southern California or anybody would be transported to a different prison, and then they would do an overnight, and then they'd be released from that prison. True story. Depending upon if you had high points or you were high control, usually a parole officer would pick you up, or your family could pick you up, or however it went. So it was different in every different prison. But getting out, usually everybody's festive and happy. I remember a couple times getting out, Corcoran, they take you to a bus station, take you to the Greyhound. In fact, you got your ticket, they give you your ticket, you got your gate money already, your prison ID, and they wait there. They wait there till the train comes. You jump on the train just like the movie Shot Caller, and then you ride the train. Some guys are going to Southern California. Some guys are going to Northern California. And I remember plenty of times going, people kind of looking at you odd on the train because they know what time it is, But it is what it is, man. You're so happy. I remember one time there was a Southsider that was from San Jose, and me and him were chopping it up the whole way, all that. Jumping off the train, smoking frajos together. Just meanwhile, 3 months ago, we're trying to kill each other on the yard. Now it's different because now we're on the streets and we're leaving that shit behind. We're still active in the gang. We still are what we are, and the respect is there, but we're not really tripping, right? That's just what it is. Anyone that's paroled will tell you. Now, there are some cases, hard-headed motherfuckers that will stand back like, I don't fuck with that, I thought, right? But at the same time, most guys ain't doing that. It's just the truth. So anyways, I had a fucking homeboy, right? A good, righteous homeboy from Modesto. And at the time, I was living in Modesto with my abuelita, right? damn, the struggle was real. Now that I think about it, I didn't have shit in life, right? I would go in and out of prison, lived with my tias, lived with my grandmothers, lived with whoever I could live with. Try to knock a fat bitch at the bar, right? At the art bar in Merced or at fucking the Palladium. Whatever I tried to do in the Central Valley, it just wasn't working out for me. I never had nothing, couldn't accumulate nothing because I was too busy keeping my head in the streets rather than keeping my head in the books or educating myself and getting a fucking job. I was lazy, right? I was a lazy gang member. I'd rather go out there and act like I was cool and tough, but I was wearing the same fucking sweater from 4 months ago and it was dirty. You know, that's how it was. Anyways, so I was living there and I remembered my boy, he was like, hey bro, I'm on a parole. Can you pick me up from the fucking bus station, the Greyhound? I'm like, I got you. Now the bus station in Modesto is located downtown, right? Right downtown. It's right where all the clubs be at, down street from the county jail. Those that know. So I pull up, I'm there like a half hour early. I'm kicking back, smoking my little cigarette, man, drinking my squirt drink, right? Kicking back and boom, it pulls up. And he jumps off. He's yoked, you know, he looks nice. He just did like 4 or 5 years. So I see him, I'm like, what's up, bro? Right? And he's like, damn, you're never going to believe what happened, bro. I'm like, what? He was like, it was crazy, homie. Right? And I was like, so what happened? So he was coming from High Desert. Okay. And paroling from High Desert, they made a few stops. And whatever stop they made along the way, he said, look, trip out. So here's the story, right? There was a skinhead that paroled with them, a couple skinheads, a black dude, and they stopped, right? And when they stopped at another bus station, there was 3 guys that got on. Now, one of these guys were SNY, okay? One of these guys had identifying tattoos from a certain dropout prison gang that you could see all on his cheek, all on his face, right? So they kind of just all looked at each other like, who the fuck's this guy? Now, those 2 white guys, they were going to Southern California, to the Orange County area, right? Whereas the black dude was going to South Central LA or wherever, and then the homie was going to Modesto, right? So they're kind of looking, they're active. Now, what happens is it becomes an active, non-active standoff. They know that these guys are coming from the SNY just because of the tattoo on dude's face. So them guys sit kind of up front on the Greyhound, and it is what it is, right? Kind of just looking, whatever. Well, they get to a place, right? And what had happened was, I guess, one of these skinheads had paroled with a phone. I don't know why the fuck he would take his phone from the facility, but he left with the phone. So he's already making calls. He's in the fucking phone, all up in it, right? The homeboy's not tripping. Like I said, he's just trying to get to Modesto to get picked up so we can kick it. So somewhere along the line, right, they all stop at bus stations. Usually this is what happens. Some bus stations, they'll stop. You can go buy food. You're there for an hour, half hour, or whatever. Some, they just keep on going. The town's too small. So anyways, they get to some town. In the meantime, in between time, near the Sacramento area. And, you know, he's almost home. And fucking these skinheads fucking take this dude, one of that dudes in the bathroom. One of them, the one with the tattoos on his face. And it was a wrap. They booked him. They got off. They smashed him, right? Cops came because I told the homeboy, damn, you were supposed to be here fucking, you know, a half hour ago, bro. He goes, bro, they held us up. Then Valtos fucking went to the bathroom and it was a fucking bloody scene. They smashed him. They whacked him his first day out, right? And I was like, damn, why didn't you do something? He was like, fuck, that's none of my business. I said, well, you're not active? He said, I am, but let the white guys do it, right? They got their coffee, brother. Dangerous. Smashed him, right? His first day out. That's what I say, man. When you parole, you never know who you're around. You never know who's on that bus. It's a dangerous situation because you could parole with someone that could be acting cool, but they're just waiting. They've already called their homeboys ahead of time, man, to be waiting, right? And I guess that's what that dude was doing. He had made a couple phone calls like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. Maybe called him some Sacramaniacs, brother. Whatever he did, they did that to that dude, right? And there was a police investigation. Police came, rearrested these guys. These guys had just paroled. They were in the back of a cop car, 2 skinheads, right? The fucking dude was left bloody. Whether he died or not, I don't know. I can't speak on that. Let's just say he was fucked off real bad. They whacked him, right? Black dude was like, damn, this white boys is crazy, right? And the homeboy was just like, fuck, eh? The other 2 dudes that came from the SNY yard actually got off the bus there. And the homie said he don't know what happened to him because the bus left, right? But shit like that happens. I wasn't surprised. See, I've heard stories, especially like the LA County Jail. You know, anyone who's been to the LA County Jail, I haven't, but I've heard plenty of stories that it's in an area where the gang 18th Street is deep. And that they used to actually wait outside and wait for Valtos to parole or wait for Valtos to get out of the county you know, their enemigas and get off on them, smash on them. Funny story is this. I go to LAX, right? And at the airport, you're really not going to have no issues. There ain't going to be too many issues, man. You know, there's so much security. No one in there has a cuete. No one in there's like that, right? But when you come out where the cars come to pick you up, I mean, you're on your own. Home's like a fucking Patti LaBelle song. So I come out, right? And this wasn't recently. I went to LAX a little while ago, but this was a while back. And so I'm at LAX. I'm looking around like, what the fuck's going on, right? This was my first time ever in that airport. And I seen a couple of vatos all tatted down. So I knew right off the top they're southsiders. But I wasn't dressed or my tattoos weren't showing. I was wearing a hoodie like this. I wouldn't gain no attention. See, when I'm out there, I'm not like that. I'm not all trying to gangbang out. That's not my lifestyle anymore. It once was, but I'm not doing that because it's not me, right? I'm for the brown man no matter what. So I'm posted up and these vatos, they're like, hey, where you from, Hums? And I ain't no punk, right? So I'm like, I'm from Northern California. They're like, you a norteño? And I said, nah, I ain't no norteño, homie. I used to be, though. They were like, oh, that's what's up, bro. They're like, yeah, bro. You know, there was some vatos in here earlier. We're looking for them vatos. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, we're tripping. And I was like, oh, shit. And they were from some barrio. I'm not going to name their barrio. I don't want to put them on blast if something did go down. But they were hunting. I was like, oh, shit, this is how it goes down here in L.A., right? I know what it is, man. I've been to Sacramento to the Greyhound station. I've been to Stockton to the Greyhound station. Fresno, everywhere, man. Fresno is tricky, too. Fresno's tricky. You try to go outside and smoke a frajo, man. There's bulldogs everywhere, right? You got to watch out. So anyway, shit happens, man. So a lot of these prisons, like I said, on your parole date, the day you get out, you know, you're mixed up with everybody. Now, of course, they're not going to have S and Ys or non-actives with the actives. That's not the way it works. But once they drop you off at that fucking Greyhound or that Amtrak, you're on your own. Whatever you choose to do, that's totally up to you. You know, there's been a situation when I was active that I would get on the bus and I would see vatos from different prisons, and I tried not to mix and mingle. I knew they got out. A lot of them would have their fucking little bag or whatever, or their box or whatever they had from whatever prison they paroled from, and I just stood to my own because there was no reason to fucking start a conversation because they were going to say something I didn't want to hear. So rather, they say seek and destroy. They say seek and you'll gain the knowledge. I wasn't seeking. I didn't want none of that. Just wanted to get to where I was going. So the homeboy was all hyped when he got out. When I picked him up, he was like, damn, bro, she was crazy. Yeah, I was like, calm down, killer. You're out now, bro. You want to go get a cell phone or what? Yeah, take me to Burger King. I'm trying to have it my way, right? Let's go. And we did that, man. And then my primos came to check him out, the homie. And I dropped him off at his carnala's house, and that was it, right? His sister's pad. And he paroled, and it was what it was. But he was telling that story to everyone. Hey, here's a funny thing, too. Anyone that's ever been in prison, why are we always just got out? It could be 2 years from now. There was a homeboy I had, right? We used to not to like take him anywhere, but he'd always fucking pop up at the worst times. When we have the chicks and shit, he'd always pop up telling old Folsom stories. So this motherfucker right here, didn't matter where you were or where he was from, he always just got out. Like, damn, bro, you paroled from fucking Salinas Valley 2.5 years ago. I just got out, eh? Just got out, man. It was fucking rough, eh? Like, bro, you've been out. You've been working construction now for 2 years, bro. You're dark. You don't even look the same way you looked when you went in. Calm down, bro. When is enough enough? When is I just got out gonna end? People will tell you, too, always the homie, I just got out, eh? Damn, fool, for reals, how was it in there? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, this was about 4.5 years ago, but it was different. What the fuck you mean you just got out then? I just got out. I've done it too, man. I usually break it off after about the year mark. The just got out doesn't work no more, you know, but it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, true story, man. And hey, I'm going to refer you, go look at that movie. I forget what it's about. It's about a white supremacist guy that gets out of prison in Pleasant Valley, in Pelican Bay, and gets into a shootout with the local cops and takes a family hostage. True story, really happened. And that right there changed the way that fucking Pelican Bay released people. And there's been a lot of other people that will tell stories, content creators, about being released from prison. It's different in every state and everywhere. But the one thing I can guarantee you ain't different is the day you're paroling, they put you in that cage to dress out, and whoever else is paroling is in there with you, whether it's an enemy or not. You know, and for the 99% of the time, most part, fools ain't tripping on each other. As long as you're in good standings and you're active, they're not going to trip, right? I tell you, man, I would trip you out. Even when I got out of the youth authority after doing a long time, they released me and 2 Southsiders, and I thought for sure these vatos were going to jump on me in Stockton. We got this because we paroled out of Carl Holton, which is in Stockton. So they drove us from there. I don't know why my family fucking didn't pick me up. I was only like 30 minutes away from home. Scandalous, bro. I get no love when I'm locked up. I guess it's my own fault. So anyways, I get to the fucking bus station. I could have just walked home, right? But I get to the bus station in Stockton, and I was sweating bullets. Like, damn, these Southerners are going to get off on me. They weren't even tripping. One of them went and bought a pack of Newports. Like, hey, bro, you want a Frau? Hell yeah, I do, right? Next thing you know, I was drinking orange juice and smoking Newports. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was from Oakland, brother. Right? And that's just what it was. Anyways, with that being said, that's just a story to tell you guys. True facts, all truth. Paroling could, you know, just because you got out don't mean you really make it. It could be your last day. That tells you that every day, cherish every day. You know, work that. You know, be responsible. Pay attention. You know, stay aware, even when you're on the streets. You know, when them guys got on there with them tattoos, them, you know, gang tattoos that he had, he thought he was all bad. I remember he got on the bus like, yeah, but I run this shit, right? Next thing you know, he's getting stomped out in the Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Actually, it was the Greyhound bathroom, or not the Greyhound, but fucking, whatever fucking bus they were on, the Greyhound, right? So he got smashed on, and then that was it. And the guys got arrested. He got smashed on, and his other homeboys were pieced up in the front. Ugly situation. Facts. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I tell you these stories not to cast a light or glorify prison or anything, but because they're truths, man. And I'm trying to make you aware of what happens in life. If you don't know, now you know. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly, truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people and giving you guys the knowledge you can't get in college and quite possibly some of the best content on YouTube that I can provide. Bang, bang. Thank you.